Okay, finishing off the classical long stretch series, we have the slide long back stretch. The reformer setup remains the same. We still have our foot bar in the up position, and on this reformer, it's on the middle shelf. And my springs are still one red and one blue. That's a medium and a light spring. So from here, we're gonna bring our hands onto our foot bar. We're gonna get set up into the exercise first. Then the first rep, we're just gonna talk about the movement, then we're gonna talk about the breath, and then we're gonna layer on some more muscle engagement cues, okay? So first of all, my hands are on the foot bar, and I'm gonna walk my feet forward to my shoulder blocks here like this. I want to try and wedge my heels as much as I can into those shoulder rests. I don't want them out here like this. So you wanna try and dig those heels in. Don't worry, I have modifications for those who are a little bit shorter than myself. All right, so we're here like this. I want to lift out of the heels of my hands, opening up that collarbone just a little bit. I'm lifted from the pelvic floor. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my elbows to slide down like this. Now, the movement is going to happen from the hips. I'm going to scoop the abdominals to create a lift. That opened the carriage and extended my elbows long. Now, I'm going to draw the tailbone back towards the foot bar to close the carriage. Let's just practice the movement. Bend at the elbows, it's like a tricep dip to lower yourself down. Now scoop the abdominals to lift the hips up, which opens the carriage and extends my elbows long. Now I'm going to lead with the tailbone to draw the carriage back under, getting back to that starting point. Now let's talk about the breath. The inhale is going to take me down and out, and then the exhale is going to draw the tailbone back in, closing the carriage. So here we go. Inhale, lower down and initiate the open. Exhale, contract the core at the same time, draw that tailbone back in. Maintain a nice long neck as you inhale, bend your elbows to slide down. Scoop the abdominals as you take it out, and then draw the tailbone back towards the foot bar. Inhale, lower yourself down and initiate the open by lifting the pelvis. Find that Pilates scoop right there. Now lead with the tailbone to bring it back in. Now the reverse, we're gonna lift first. So we're gonna inhale, scoop those abdominals to lift the pelvis, open the carriage. Now I'm gonna bend at the elbows, draw the tailbone back, pulling the carriage back under and extending my arms back up. Scoop the abdominals as you lift the pelvis up, initiate the open, and now bend at the elbows, draw the tailbone back, slide yourself back up. Now, for the slide long back stretch, there are a couple of ways you can accommodate clients that are a little bit shorter. First, I would think about changing the equipment around, maybe double checking to make sure that the gear is pulled all the way in, bringing the carriage closer to the foot bar. But I assume you've probably already done that if you're already working with a shorter individual. You can also bring the foot bar a little bit higher. But when you bring the foot bar a little bit higher, you compromise the shoulders just a little bit. So my favorite modification is to bring the shoulder rest closer to the foot bar by using a roller like this. You could also use 2 yoga blocks too, but this is a little bit easier to work with. So from here, the setup is the exact same, but this time you're gonna bring your feet against the roller like that. So same things, you want that tailbone nice and heavy. We don't have any scoop, we don't have any extension here. We're just gonna slowly bend at the elbows, and then we initiate the opening of the carriage by lifting the pelvis, and it lifts us out of the elbow bend, and then we draw the tailbone back towards the foot bar to close the carriage. I bend at the elbows, scooping and lifting the hips opens the carriage and takes me out of that elbow bend, and then I draw the tailbone back. Even with my long legs, having that roller there makes this much easier and makes the movement a little bit easier too. So definitely play around with your props.